Okay, I'm back. I know it's been a while, but life gets in the way sometimes, but we're here to do some new MRE review, ration reviews. You've seen my preview. We have a lot to look at, but I thought maybe for our first one back, we'd do something in honor of the Olympics that are going on right now. I've got a French individual ration, RIE. These are a single meal ration, or called an 8-hour ration. The French also have a 24-hour ration that would feed you for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but this one I think is meant just for short exercises while they're out. And this one itself is menu number 2. We'll get to the contents here in a minute. Unfortunately, it's got a Best By date of February 27, 2022, so it's a little bit out of date, but it'll be a quick and easy one to do and a great way to get back in and get things moving again. We'll open it up. You can see it's all packed in, mostly in tins, and seems to be somewhat commercial type items as opposed to ones specifically made for the military. Important to note, I found there weren't any utensils included with this. There wasn't a little cooking stove or anything either. I assume they issued that with the mess tin. And on these short hops, they may just eat it cold out of the package. I've got a MRE spoon that I brought along to eat it, but we'll unpack it here and see what we've got. Got a set of Biscuits de Campagne. It's salted biscuits. Rilettes de Maquereau. That's mackerel pate or roulette. We've got a can of Prunes, it looks like. I don't know if you call that a dessert or not. A pack of toilet paper tissues. Got a Nougat aux fruits, so a fruit nougat bar. And a chocolate bar, dark chocolate, 70%. That looks good. And a chicken Taboule, chicken with rice and vegetables. We'll get this cooked up and on the tray. Okay, we got everything laid out here. Let's get it out of the packages and see how it looks. If anything, I'm worried about the crackers, since they're not really in any kind of special packaging other than the cellophane in the box. I got 2 packages of those with 2 each. Go ahead and open our Taboule before we put it on the stove. Okay. It's like a combination of chicken and some vegetables, maybe some rice in there. It smells pretty good as we've opened it up. Doesn't look bad in any real way. It was still sealed in the tin without any major punctures to the can or anything, so I assume it will be okay. I'm going to wait to taste it until it's heated up. We'll check the mackerel pate. All right, that looks kind of like tuna. Has a quite a strong tuna smell. It looks somewhat oily still and chunky. That'll be something we try on the crackers here in a minute. I'll open the nougat bar. Okay, that seems to be in pretty good shape. White nougat with various fruits in it. Somewhat sticky. Let's see into the inside. We've got kind of fibrous there. It smells sweet, but kind of plasticky too. So our chocolate bar. This should be a dark chocolate. It's got some bloom on it. kind of going a lighter color. But looks okay and feels okay. That should be fine. Now, here's the one I'm somewhat worried about. It's the prunes. It does have its own date again of 7/27/2022, packed on 7/27/2018. So these we may just look at. It's still sealed, but I'm not a huge prune fan. There's one that's stuck to the top. They're sticky, somewhat dry, kind of oily. They smell like coarse raisins. I don't know. We'll see if those are any good. Like I said, there wasn't a lot else packed with this. There's not a drink, which was kind of strange or interesting. So I don't have anything like that to feature for you. But let me go get the chicken tabbouleh heated up, and we'll come back and taste test it. Okay, we're back. The tabbouleh's heated up, been on the stove. I assume they have their own little camp stove or whatever to cook this. But I just did it on the stove top. It's looks and smells a whole much better. It didn't smell bad to begin with, but now it smells really good after it's heated up. We'll get it out here and give everything a taste or a try. It's quite a big serving here. Definitely enough for a full meal. And decent calories. I'll put that information down below if you're interested in that, but it certainly is a good enough meal for lunch and or even dinner. So you can see it's got fairly big chunks of chicken there, and rice with different vegetables. I see carrots, onion, celery, some herbs. I'll let that actually cool off a little bit. You can see the steam coming off it. Get some of the crackers out. Well, they want to crumble. Again, I don't know if these will be any good with their age. They smell kind of funny, kind of chemically, but we'll taste a little bit and see. These are supposedly salted. Well, yeah, they don't taste 100%. Obviously, whatever shortening or oils that are in those have gone rancid. I certainly won't be eating any more of those. They do have a slightly sweet taste to them, which is a little bit confusing since they were identified as salted biscuits. I think they'd be more like a saltine or a cracker in that regard, but maybe that's because they've gone bad. We'll skip that. Okay, while we're waiting for our main to cool down just a bit, we'll test some of the mackerel mousse or pate. It seems to have some of its own Now, the mackerel pate seems to have its own assortment of veggies. Looks like some green pepper, little flakes of spice in there. I don't know exactly what that is. The fish itself is kind of a pinkish orange. We'll give that a good taste. Ooh, that tastes really good. That's a kind of a lightly spiced fish, reminiscent of those tuna pouches you can get at the store that are hickory smoked or whatever. It would definitely be good on a cracker as a side. still in great condition after being in the can for quite so long, but definitely would fill you up if you had the crackers to eat it on. And with the crackers they give you, then there's definitely enough to spread it on 4 of those. Yeah, that's good. I like that. The one thing about the French rations that I've noticed on the few I've tasted, they always have really good, almost gourmet items in their rations, as opposed to some of the standards home cooking we see in U.S. MREs. So it's kind of a departure from what we're used to, but they seem to want to feed their troops really well, almost too fancy. But some palates might not like that. But let's taste. We've got a good chunk of chicken and some of the vegetables mixed in and the rice. Smells very savory. The chicken is good. It's still moist. It hasn't dried out. It's kind of like a canned chicken that you would expect, but with great flavor. Kind of an Italian seasoning on this, as the I guess you call it a French seasoning, but I'd liken it more to Italian seasoning. The rice itself is not mushy, but isn't hard and crunchy yet either. So it's also not as salty as I thought it would be. Just looking at how it looked in the can. The can itself, while it was cooking, had quite a bit of oil that is now soaked into the main ingredients, and but it doesn't taste oily. It really came together as it cooked on the stove. It tastes fine, even though it has maybe been in the can since 2018 or 19, depending on when it was packed. But so far so good. That's definitely a good entree. I'll finish that later. Okay, we'll move on to the fruit nougat. It's kind of glued itself here to the tray. It doesn't want to come off, but part of this is got kind of a waxy paper on it. I think I'd read that is an edible paper to give you something to hold on to, as the rest of it is somewhat sticky on the inside. And then, like I said, it's hard to identify what fruit is in here, but we'll try a little bit. It's very chewy. The nougat part, of course, is kind of a traditional candy. It's got a kind of a milky taste to it, but also a very light fruit taste. Not extremely sugary, but you can taste the fruit, kind of a cherry or a cranberry maybe. There may be some citrus in here too. We've got kind of some orange bits. It could be orange. Once you get it in your mouth, it does soften up and chew very easily. Yeah, that's still good. All right, I'm back. The dogs could smell food in here, so I had to send them away. They want to come get some snacks. All right, I probably should go to the prunes next before I try the chocolate. They're dry and leathery, almost like a gummy bear. I'd say oily but shiny, but it's not really getting on my fingers too bad. I'm not a huge prune fan anyway, so I don't know if I'd be able to tell you if it was good or bad, but we'll give it a little taste. Well, they taste like a large quartz raisin, or I guess they're plums. They're dried, but still fairly moist. They don't taste bad. I don't see any signs of them going bad. Assuming I don't. There's nothing that leads me to believe there's anything off with them. I guess we'll find out in a couple hours as to whether they live up to their name and go through me or not. But I think I'll maybe call it a day with the prunes. I'm not a huge fan, like I said, but I assume for someone that likes them, they would. That leads us to the last item, kind of the dessert item in the ration. It's a dark chocolate bar, 70% chocolate. Looks to be in great shape. Not too oily. I don't know if this is a heat-safe chocolate or not, but it doesn't appear to be melting on my hands or fingers at all. Snapped pretty well. Let me give it a bite here. It's very hard, crunchy. Very good chocolate taste. Not extremely sweet. Got a pretty high chocolate content, so it's a strong chocolate, but very lightly sweetened. This would be good. If you had some coffee with your ration, it'd be great to dunk it in there and you turn your coffee into a mocha or something like that. But no, that chocolate bar is still good and very edible. We'll get some of the tissues out here just to say we did. Maybe. These appear to unfold rather large. Nice, either used as a napkin or TP. Seem to be some fairly strong, high quality. Well, that's it for this ration. I'm going to go ahead and eat most of this, except for the crackers and prunes. But I hope you're looking forward to some other new and interesting rations. We've got a good supply of very vintage rations that we're going to go through, as well as more modern day ones, and to some extent some foreign ones too, as we can find them. It's since COVID gotten very difficult to get those from other countries, but we do have a good assortment of US made ones. I hope you enjoy the video. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll try and keep these coming on at least every couple of weeks. Comment down below if you have any input or information on this that you'd like to share. I'd love to hear from everybody. We'll see you later. Bye.